Hello and welcome to Keswick Chapel The Chew. I'm Pastor Robert. This is day 5 of week 6. Our journey together, the way, his and ours. This week we've been looking at everyone. That was the title of the message this past Sunday. And we looked at our foundational passage. It was John chapter 4, verses 4 through 42. We've been living under the authority of this passage all week long. And so what were our points? Well, I hope you grabbed your pen and paper and you're ready to go back through your notes from this week as we do a recap here this morning. Jesus went out of his way to visit a woman. That was the first point. Jesus calls us to go out of our way to love everyone. That was point number 2. And then the third point was this. Jesus demonstrated how you and I are to live incarnationally. So let's go back over this real quick. So the first point, Jesus visited the Samaritan woman by going out of his way. And by extension, he was out of his way when he spent time with the Samaritan people. So Jesus was on his way, and he went out of his way to spend time. You may recall that he stopped at the well there, and he waited, sent the disciples on into town. But Jesus waited, and what was he waiting for? He's in the heat. He's in the heat of the day. There's no shade. He was waiting for this woman so that he could extend God's love to her. So Jesus went out of his way, and he expects us to go out of our way. So the second point, by example, Jesus shows us how going out of our way to share the Father's love to everyone is beneficial and helpful, and it is the plan of God. So Jesus spent time with this woman. They had a conversation, and because of that conversation, you'll remember she left her water jar at the well and went into town, and she shared her testimony about her encounter with the Christ. And they were so moved by her testimony that they went out to the well to see Jesus, to see for themselves this man who she believed to be the Messiah. And of course, what the end result of that entire thing was that many came to believe who Jesus was. And so testimony, the word of our testimony, is key in the kingdom work of God. So the third point, Jesus demonstrated for us how to live incarnationally. What do we mean by that? Well, so as disciples, we are to be really the incarnation of Jesus Christ. We're not Jesus, but we are to live out the way that Jesus lived. And we are to be the hands and feet of Jesus. You've probably heard this over and over again. So we are basically to be the exact same thing that Jesus was when he was here. We are the ambassadors of Christ. So when people see us, they should see Jesus. Well, so Jesus was modeling the Father for those around him, for his disciples, for all of those who heard him speak. Jesus was modeling the Father's love for them. And how do we know that? What is the Father's love? Well, we have 3 points that we talked about yesterday. First of all, Jesus' way is free of judgment. Jesus never judged this woman. Jesus never judged the people of Sychar. He simply loved them. What was the second thing? We see that Jesus' way is inclusive. Even though there was a cultural reason for Jesus to avoid Samaria and to avoid Sychar, he chose to break with the cultural norms because the Father's love for everyone needed to be demonstrated. And he seized this opportunity to demonstrate the Father's love by including everyone that was there. And then thirdly, we see that Jesus' way is free from condemnation. At no point in this story in John chapter 4 do we see Jesus condemn this woman at the well. Not one time. No one else wanted anything to do with her because she had had 5 husbands and she was living with another. Jesus never condemned her for that. Instead, he showed her the love of the Father, and we see the fruit of that. So let me ask you this. As you think about this passage and these points, Are you choosing to live your life the way Jesus did? Are you choosing to be his disciple in word, thought, and deed? This is a challenge for all of us. I pray, my friends, that you'll have eyes to see and ears to hear God's word for you today. That your heart and mind will be receptive to his truth today. That today you will be transformed by the renewing of your mind, that you'll grow in grace, and that you will seize the opportunities to include those around you in the good news of the gospel of Jesus Christ. Pray you'll have a wonderful day. Go in the peace of God, my friends. Blessings to you. Bye for now.